LV here, and today I'm going to go over the process of submitting your cards for PSA grading using GameStop. I will be detailing my recent experience of submitting a 17 Pokemon card order with them, and we'll do the grade reveal afterwards for you. Now, I think this video is beneficial for both sports card and Pokemon collectors since it's the exact same process when submitting any cards to GameStop. So you guys know I'm a huge supporter of submitting cards to PSA yourself. You learn the most that way and eliminate certain risks, like having the group submitter, the middleman, tampering with your cards, swapping out your cards, not handling them properly, or in some extreme cases, you just never get your cards back because they were stolen at some point. But GameStop is a big company. It isn't just a mom-and-pop group submitter. They are a huge company, and their stores are conveniently everywhere. For the most part, you can trust them. So if you have to use a group submitter, I'd probably use them. You may ask, Little Victories, you've been submitting cards yourself to PSA for over 20 years. Why did you use GameStop? Well, multiple reasons. I wanted to understand the experience and learn the process to share them with you. And I wanted to share the process with my 9-year-old son who might be interested in submitting some of his own Pokemon cards through GameStop. But the main reason was that for a 2-week window there, it was cheaper to submit Pokemon cards through GameStop than to submit yourself. It was when PSA increased their grading prices, but for some reason, they didn't increase their GameStop prices until 2 weeks later. So when I submitted, it was $15.99 with GameStop per card and $16.99 on the PSA website. Currently, it's $18.99 for GameStop Pokemon and $16.99 on PSA for Pokemon. And for sports cards, it's currently $20.99 through GameStop and $19.99 on the PSA website. So that means you are going to pay a little bit more if you go through GameStop. So why use them over submitting yourself? So what are the main reasons why you would use GameStop? Well, I think the main reason is the PSA membership fee. If you are using GameStop, you don't have to be a PSA member. You don't have to pay that, $150 yearly membership fee through PSA. So if you're someone that doesn't submit a ton of cards and you hate paying that $150 membership fee, then it's nice just to use GameStop, right? Next, I'd say GameStop is pretty convenient. There are a million of them all around you, probably in the malls, strip malls. You get to simply walk in and literally hand the workers your cards. Give them your email, and then they do the rest. You save money on all the shipping fees this way, so you probably save $20 shipping your cards to PSA, and you only have to pay if you're a member of GameStop, you only have to pay a shipping fee of $4.99 for return shipping. That usually costs around, say, $35 for PSA to ship them back to you. Next reason is that I feel it's a great opportunity for families to grade cards together. For example, there are a lot of kids into Pokemon right now wanting to understand and grade their cards because grading has become such a big aspect of the card community and collecting. But their parents don't know much about grading, say. Well, all they have to do is take their kids into GameStop with them, drop off their cards, and that's it. The parents really don't need to know anything about sports or Pokemon card grading or cards in general. Finally, another reason to use GameStop is quantity. You don't need to submit a certain amount to take advantage of their pricing. For example, with PSA, in order to get the $16.99 per card Pokemon rate right now with them, you need to submit at least 20 cards. For a lot of people, that quantity adds up quick. And a lot of times, we just want to grade, say, 5 to 10 cards we want to submit. So that no minimum with GameStop really helps, I feel like, for a lot of people. Okay, let's just go ahead and go through my GameStop order journey step by step, then I will reveal. So before heading to my local GameStop, I recommend taking a quick video of the cards you are going to submit front and back. This way, you have a record and condition record of what you submitted to reference back to anytime you want. I'll play the one I took while I am talking. Next, make sure the cards are in penny sleeves and the card saver. Regular penny sleeves and card savers. Card saver ones. That's the size you need. For sports card dudes, this is a no-brainer. This is always how we've had to submit cards to PSA. But I've been watching Pokemon vids, and for some reason, Pokemon collectors seem appalled and shocked by this process. Not all of them, but some of them. But the card saver keeps the cards safe and sound, secure, not able to move around. It's highly effective. Next, go ahead and head into GameStop and tell them you'd like to submit your cards for PSA grading through them. Now, I was lucky. When I submitted my order, the worker had a new employee next to him, and he used my order to train that new employee. So I got to see the whole intake process. So next, they take your info, and then they count the cards, and they input all the info into the computer, and then they take front and back images of each card, 4 cards in a frame per time. So they just set out the cards like so, and then they just take a picture, flip them over, and take a picture of the back. Next, they will put them in a bag, print out info on a sticker, and seal the bag with what I'm assuming was a tamper-proof sticker. And then they just ship them off with other customers' orders sometime that same week. Next, you do pay them, so you do have to pay them up front. I highly recommend becoming a GameStop member, but it's not like a PSA membership. It's not that much, trust me. I believe the GameStop membership is only $25 per year, and you get 5% off any purchase in store, and you even get 5% off of your grading fees when you submit through them. And if you're a member, you also get that $4.99 return shipping fee. So it's a pretty good deal, decent deal there. Finally, they shoot you an email saying they received your order and will be shipping your order off to PSA. Now, I recommend making sure you have an online account with GameStop with that email. That way you can sign into your GameStop's website and you are able to track the progress of your order. And if you're like me, you love checking the progress of your PSA subs each day, million times per day. All right, so now the cards are out of your hands and you can relax. Kind of, sort of, you can relax. Now, this is the only part I didn't like. I love knowing when my orders arrive to PSA okay, safe and sound. But for over a whole month, I was left in the dark. In the status, all it said was shipped to PSA for a whole month. My mind was thinking the worst, that they got lost in transit, but then I Googled the problem and it seemed like other people had the same problem. So I remained patient. It actually reminded me of grading with Beckett, BGS, back in the day. When you submitted your cards, you wouldn't hear anything for months that they received them or not. And I really feel like they should have shot you an email right when your cards received, but it just wasn't that way for some reason. Anyway, finally, like 30 days later, my order popped up that it had arrived and was in research and ID. I was stoked, and from there, it started to move fast through the grading and then through assembly. Probably only took 3 weeks total for those steps. And looks like on March 10th, I got the email that my grades were ready. And you can actually see your results on the GameStop website. So you can see the grades if you want to, which I like because I have no self-control. I can't resist seeing my grades right away. So now what happens is PSA just ships your order back to your local GameStop where you drop them off, and the GameStop will call and email you when your order is in hand, ready to be picked up. And for me, it took 6 total days from when the grades popped for me to be able to pick them up when they called me. So pretty decent return shipping time. So I'd say it was a total of 55 days from when I dropped the cards off to when I picked them up. That's actually pretty average and on par if you were to submit yourself with PSA. So it seems kind of long, but with Pokemon and the card grading in general being so popular right now, the turnaround times have increased substantially, so I think 55 days is pretty respectable. Okay, so overall, I was pretty happy with my experience, and now let's go ahead and reveal my grades. All right, 17 cards. Let's do this. Gave away that first grade. That's okay. That's a good one. All right, first up was that really cool Eevee. So this is a promo out of the ETB Elite Trainer box from Prismatic Evolutions. It is the current set that is impossible to find, but I haven't found any in the wild, unfortunately. It's just really hard to find in my area, and it really sucks, especially having a son who's really into Pokemon, because I'd love to go to a store and buy a few packs and open them with him. But I was able to find some at a local gaming store, and they priced everything double, which is the only way I was going to get it. So I bought the ETB for $100, and I bought a 3-pack sticker pack, I think, for around $30. Anyway, this is the Eevee promo that you get 1 per ETB box, and it looked great, and it gemmed. Very happy here. Recoup some of that $100 I spent. Okay, Gem 10. Here's the Zekrom. I just really like the artwork. This is a really cool card. It is out of the Celebrations 2021. I think this card raw now is around $10, but you could buy them on ComC all day for $2, which I was doing, and I just thought it was a cool card. I got a Gem 10. Next up, we got a Roaring Moon. I like the look of this hyper rare. I always like Roaring Moon artwork. Got a Midnight, unfortunately, but that is okay. Maybe a touch there. Next one's a big one. All right, so this is a really fun one. This is also out of Prismatic Evolutions, and I actually pulled this with my son out of that 3-pack sticker pack I bought for $30. So one of the packs had this card. It is pretty much one of the chase cards, the Evolutions. It's Vaporeon. It's huge. So the card was very clean when pulled. It was fun. My son actually pulled it out of the pack, so he had a blast. But the back had no touches of white, but it was off-center a little bit too much, thicker on the left than the right, so I kind of knew it wasn't going to get that 10, especially now with the 55-45 change. So I'm happy just to get the Mint 9. I think it's an accurate grade. Really, really cool card. Vaporeon is now one of my favorite evolutions. So Mint 9 there. That's probably still a $270 card, $300 card. Cynthia's Ambition. This is a sneaky valuable card. Crown Zenith, that's my favorite Pokemon set. The pull rates are just amazing, and the artwork is phenomenal. This card's probably sneaky $120 in Gem 10. Next up, we got a Spidops. This is also an SIR, Special Illustration Rare, out of Scarlet and Violet. Must be Scarlet and Violet base set. Got Gem 10. This might be my favorite artwork out of Surging Sparks. Skarmory. Surging Sparks has some great cards. I'm not going to lie, but illustration rares are hot right now. I have a good feeling about the outlook, long-term potential of this card, just because of how cool the artwork is. Got him at 9, though. Unfortunately, I'd like to own that one in a 10 someday. Next up, a Glaceon out of Crown Zenith. Got a Mint 9. I think I have 2 of these in this order. I was hoping one would get that 10. We'll see what the other one got. The other one got the 9, unfortunately, as well. If I remember correctly, they had a little bit of surface issues. And maybe a little bit off-center. But they look pretty clean. Mint 9s. On the Glaceons, this one I don't care too much for the artwork, Semi-Seer, but it is a V-Star out of Crown Zenith. Unfortunately, it got a 9. I don't know. It looked fairly clean to me. Next up, we got an Eevee out of Crown Zenith, just a basic V, but it was just one of those where it was so sharp and clean. Like this, if you sent to Beckett, this might have got a pristine 10. It was just that clean. So I just had to grade it. It's probably only, what, $35 card in 10? This one is a favorite of mine. I like the artwork. This is out of Paradox Rift. Loud red, nice colors, energetic art. Just it's a cool card. This might be $100 under 10. Next up, we got a Chatot. This is actually a really cool card. I heard the actual positioning of the Pokemon on these kind of power lines actually makes a musical melody. So really cool card, illustration rare on this one. This one is out of Temporal Forces. I bet there's decent value here. Probably $100 card into 10. Next up, we have another illustration rare. This is Taboo Bulu. Not sure if I said that correctly, but this card maybe $70. I'll put numbers up. There you go. That one is out of Shrouded Fable. Next up, we got a Wellspring Mask Ogre Pond. This is an SIR, special illustration rare, out of Twilight Masquerade. Kind of cool card. Got Gem 10. Raw, you can still buy these for about $15-20, so not a bad deal for an SIR. Hydrapple. This one is just an ultra rare, but it was so clean. Pulled it myself. Stellar Crown, out of Stellar Crown. And it got the 10. So there you go. That was the GameStop order. I'm actually pretty happy with it and my overall experience. So hopefully this video will help people that are debating and possibly want to submit through GameStop for your PSA cards. But yeah, thanks for watching my content. I really appreciate it, and I'll be back with future reveals. All right, have a good day, everyone.